Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Sunday the 13th of March 2022. Today's Millwall news, we've got a short story and then we're going to do the post-match stats from yesterday's 0-0 draw at home to Middlesbrough. So, here we go. What's this? Well, this was published this morning on londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website, and it's another quote from Chris Wilder, the Middlesbrough manager. I think he's gone home in a ref's car. Borough boss amazed, Millwall man escaped a caution. Middlesbrough manager Chris Wilder joked that Millwall midfielder George Saville was getting back in the car with a referee after he did not get booked in yesterday's 0-0 draw at the Den. Official Robert Jones dished out 5 bookings, all in the first half. Wilder, in a jovial mood, said, I don't know how George Saville's escaped one, dear me. I think he's getting back in the car with the ref. I've known George a long time, from when he was at Chelsea. It's a competitive game. We had a laugh and a joke afterwards. He was smiling. I think he was scratching his head as to how he had not been booked. I think he did his best to be booked. You don't want that sending off in that match. You just want it to be really competitive. There was some great tackles going in. Lee Peltier in front of the dugout. Over the far side, Fry and Tavernier went in with Jed Wallace or Billy Mitchell, and the Millwall player came out. I'm a big believer in that. This is a physical sport. Supporters want to see that. Supporters want to see a big tackle. You've just got to get the balance right, especially when George has kicked somebody about 45,000 times and gets away with it. You may have to book him. Possibly Gary will talk about a couple of our boys should have been booked, but it's 11v11 and we get on with it. Wilder was asked if wingback Isaiah Jones was lucky to only get booked for reacting angrily to Scott Malone's attempts to pull him back to his feet. I've got to say that I'm not too sure, because Scott Malone made contact with Jones that has allowed that opportunity to pick a player up when a free kick has been given. He said, "Leave the player alone." The referee's been sensible with it, because he's seen Scott shouldn't really touch him, lay a hand on him, and he's seen the reaction. It's come out the right way. So there you go. Yeah, more opinions from Chris Wilder, the Middlesbrough manager. Seems to be in a cheerful mood coming out of that game with a 0-0 draw. Their away form is not the best, so I think they haven't had a clean sheet away in many a game. So he's probably happy about that. Happy not to lose as well, because they are in a bad form away from home. So there you go. That is the story. Now we're going to move on to the post-match stats. This is from experimental361.com. It is the XG over the length of the time of the match. The XG goes up as we go along. Anytime a chance is created, it gets a numerical value linked to it, and that is the XG. And as the line goes up vertically, that is a good XG. If the line is high, the higher the line, the better the chance. So you can see here, the best chance of the game in this 0-0 draw came to Middlesbrough in the second half, around about the 66th minute. That is a big vertical red jump there. The total XG was 0.8 to Millwall, 1.2 to Middlesbrough. So again, they had better chances than us, just about. That's pretty close, to be honest with you. The first half was a cagey affair. It looks like, from what I can see, Middlesbrough had 3 shots in the first half and they had 3 shots in the second half. So not a lot going on for them. And we had a spell. So both teams kind of had their best spell of the game in the second half, between about the 55th minute and the 65th minute. And then after that, it went a bit quiet. The blue flat line is there and the red flat line is there. They had one more shot late on, around about the 85th minute. And we had a couple right at the end. I think that the Benicophobe chance was there as well, wasn't it? So there you go. Now moving on to this. This is Infogoldnet. They have the XG totally different. They have it a lot smaller and a lot closer. If you look in the middle where the red FT is, they have the XG as 0.48 to Millwall, 0.47 to Middlesbrough. So I don't know what's going on there, because it usually is a difference in the XG between them and this site and the previous site. But it's not normally this different, but that is a lot different. What we're going to do on this site is show you where the XGs were on the pitch. So here we see the expected goals plotted out to where they were, where the chances were created on the pitch. And you can see Newell's chances there over the 90 minutes. Not a lot going on there. We had two seemingly decent chances. I think that may be Jake Cooper's chances. I don't know, that was a Benicophobe one that he made for himself, but wide. And that was a Benicophobe. Yeah, so these two are both Benicophobe chances. But you can see they were the best chances we had, and even they're not that big. They're only at 10%. So you can see here with Middlesbrough, most of the shots coming down the middle, 2 inside the 6-yard box, which is kind of worrying. There you go. So let's have a look at this first half. You can see there. So restricted them to 2 shots on the edge of the area, 2 shots outside the area. Similar to us, not a lot going on. Second half. Now, that looks like a bit of drilling and coaching there. What's going on there? Obviously trying to do something where you have a complete that's the first half, and the second half they're all pretty much in the same area. So they've seen something that's going on and thought, okay, try and attack this area here. Maybe it's the area between the 2 centre backs. We got the Jay Cooper chance, the Murray Wallace chance. I think that was the one that hit the bar. Jay Cooper right at the end again, and the 2 Benicophobe chances there. So, but you can see in the second, yeah, they only had 3 shots in the second half, Middlesbrough, but 2 of them were in the 6-yard box, and 1 was not far out. And that Balogun, he's a young lad, but maybe if he had a bit more about it, if he wasn't a young lad, he might have scored there. I don't know. Fairness rating, wow, this is the highest I've ever seen. Was it a fair result? 99.95. Yes, that was fair result. I guess it could have been a score draw, 1-1, but then you think as soon as one team does score, it's probably going to totally change the game, and then it might have ended up being like the other team would have to attack more. Could have been ended up being 2-1. So yeah, I don't know. That it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. So we're going to move on now to this whoscored.com. Now this is the website that the EFL get their teams of the week from. So you can see here, this is the match report. Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition, where effectively creating goals scored opportunities from set pieces. But our weaknesses were poor at finishing, we're aggressive, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, and were caught offside often and committed a high number of individual errors. Middlesbrough, no strengths really, and were poor at finishing, which is interesting. And you see on the right hand side here, Mario Wallace was given man of the match, and the top 4 players are defenders. Well, Scott Malone, defender, sort of. Mason Bennett getting a 7.1 there, interesting. But you can see that Balogun, he got most shots for Middlesbrough, 3. And that's what you're seeing there with a player who's not quite there yet. He's still a young lad. He's on loan from Arsenal. You're kind of expecting a lot from him, and we were in for him. We apparently, according to the sites, the websites, we tried to sign him as well, but didn't happen for us, did it? So coming down here, let's have a look. Now this website, they always do the home team in this orange reddy colour, and the away team in the blue. So Millwall are red here, yeah, on the left hand side. So we actually had more shots than them, 10-7. Open play was 4-2. Set pieces 6-5. Yeah, pretty even, wasn't it? Pretty even. Passing types 3-6-4 to 4-1-5. 20-12 crosses. 1-0 through balls. 57-61 long balls. 286 341 short passes. An average pass streak of 4. Okay. Card situations. Okay. Cards per foul. So we had 12 fouls in the game. They had 7. But we ended up getting 4 yellow cards. They ended up getting 1. So 33% of our cards. 33% of our fouls ended up in cards. Interesting, okay. Coming down here, you can see they were mostly going down the right hand side. We were mixing it up, going down both wings. The shots, that's where they came from. There's the shot zones, action zones, mostly in the middle. Player positions, look at that for Millwall. Flat midfield there. And Jed Wallace and Afobe isolated. So that's Mason Bennett, number 20, yeah, playing quite deep. Okay. McNamara getting forward a bit more, bombing forward. But you can see on Middlesbrough, 35, 25 and 17, obviously with them going down that right flank, as we saw on a previous graphic, this one. So that's pushed Mario Wallace, number 3. Scott Malone, number 11. 17, which is George Saville, I think. And then 20, Mason Bennett. Has pushed them back to deal with Middlesbrough coming down this right hand side, which is interesting indeed. So, moving on to this. There you can see all the cards that we got. And if you look at the top where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for Millwall is 6.81. The average player rating for Middlesbrough is 6.66. So our players got better ratings apparently in terms of the overall game. But that is a fairly close result, so it's not really that significant, to be honest with you. Again, another quite low result for a Phobie, 6.3. That's not the best. McNamara only gets 6.3 as well. Interesting, okay. But Mario Wallace there, probably, I don't know, maybe just because he hit the bar. He got 7.7. Maybe, or I'll imagine on top of his defensive work. We'll check that out later. So here we can see, total shots 10-7. So who had the shots? Phoebe with 3, Mario Wallace with 2, Jake Cooper with 2. Interesting. Possession of the match ball. Oh, okay. So Mario Wallace having 6.6% of the total match possession just on himself, which is the third highest on the pitch, it looks like, after McNair and Fry for them in defence. So that's interesting. Pass success percentage. Again, another low one for us. 67 to their 75, and Billy Mitchell 85 stand out always. Pretty decent again from Billy Mitchell. Okay. Dribbles 8-4. Aerials 127-19. Fantastic stuff there. Phoebe with 3, Bennett with 4, Murray Wallace with 5. The only one who didn't win an aerial was Malone and Biakowski. Even Lovelace, when he came on, won an aerial. So there you go. Tackles 16-8. So double the tackles for us for them. Malone with 6 there. Nice. So obviously him and Isaiah Jones having a bit of a battle there. Mario Wallace getting involved as well. 9 tackles between them, got on that, trying to stop them come down that right hand side. Interesting. So corners 8-6. Jed Wallace 5, Malone with 3. Dispossessed 4-6. Okay. Interesting. So moving on now to player stats of what we've just seen. So the player ratings: Mario Wallace, Scott Malone, Mason Bennett. So that's interesting for Mason Bennett. 70 minutes on the pitch. So he's had less time on the pitch than most of the other players, well, except for one of the other players, which was the one who came on because he was only one substitute. And he's still got a higher rating than many of the other players. He's got 7.05. And Jake Cooper there just behind him, 7.04. So that's 4 players with a 7 or above, which is interesting. And then everyone else pretty much middling. Now Zach Lovelace got 20 minutes on the pitch, which is about 15 minutes more than he normally gets. Didn't really do much of it though. According to this, he did. He got 4 touches, one aerial, and had pass accuracy of 33.3, and he got the lowest rating, 5.98. Interesting. Okay. Now, Gary Out was mentioning that he chose Zach Lovelace over Tyler Burry because of the different type of player that he was. Could we have got more out of Tyler Burry than we got out of Zach Lovelace? I don't know. So let's have a look at the offense. So who had the shots? These are the shots. And yet another bad day at the office for Benicophobe there. 3 shots and 0 of them were on target. Now you can argue, well, he made that really good chance for himself. He turned the player left and then right. And then he kind of snapped it in and it went over the bar. And you're thinking, mate, that would have been Roy the Rover's stuff there if you would have put that in the net after doing all that hard work. Like, that was a hard part. The easy part is just kicking it towards the goal. Apparently, I don't know. But Jake Cooper the standout there. So, wow, okay. This doesn't look good going forward, does it? So what have we got there? We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 chances from these different players. And only one player's got shots on target, and that was Jake Cooper. So we've had 10 shots, and only 2 of them are on target. Yowzers. Wow, okay. Moving on to defense. Who did all the defensive works? Tackles we've already seen. Scott Malone very busy there. Then Murray Wallace, George Saville. Interceptions, Murray Wallace, Scott Malone. Okay, and then these players. Clearances, Jake Cooper, Mason Bennett getting involved in the defensive work there. And all of these players with 2. Interesting. So Danny Ballard having a bit of a quiet day there. The first time I've mentioned him there is in 2 clearances. Didn't have any tackles, didn't have any interceptions. Didn't have a block shot either. Did we block any shots? Well, they didn't have. Middlesbrough didn't have that many shots. It was 7 shots they had. Pardon me. So only 1 block shot. That was from Jake Cooper, blocking somebody's shot. Passing wise, let's have a look. Passes, total passes. Murray Wallace 51. A lot more than the next man down, Danny Ballard. So Danny Ballard having probably playing on the ball more, which is why he's not getting involved in attacking and stuff. I guess maybe that's the reason. Same amount of passes as George Saville and Jed Wallace. Billy Mitchell there. So we've got Billy Mitchell 34 passes and 85 accuracy. That is incredible, as always, from Billy Mitchell. Fantastic stuff. And then probably Scott Malone 73 off at 13. That's not too bad. And then Jed Wallace obviously 72 off of 36, but everyone else is a bit meh, to be honest. Yeah, a bit meh. Crosses and accurate crosses. So we got 10 crosses from Jed Wallace. So this would include corners as well. So that's why Jed Wallace and Scott Malone are at the top, but not just corners. So it's 10 and 3, 10 crosses, 3 accurate. Scott Malone 5 and 2, which is better. Danny McNamara 3 and 0. And then George Saville 1, Mason Bennett 1 and 1. So you can see why Mason Bennett got a pretty high score there. He's doing a lot of defensive work, and the stuff that he's doing up front is interesting. So long balls and accurate long balls. So we got Murray Wallace 9 long balls, 2 accurate. Bart Biakowski 9 and 4. Now that's a lot better than normal. So obviously not a lot of passes in the game from Bart Biakowski. 13 passes overall. That would include goal kicks, which would probably be 9 goal kicks. Not a lot for him to do there in terms of ball play, but he did it well. 9 and 4. Danny Ballard 7 and 3. Jake Cooper 7 and 3. Scott Malone 6 and 2. Billy Mitchell 4 and 2. Okay. So that pretty much rounds it up. Not a lot going on there. Another 7 for Jay Cooper, but Murray Wallace still's the man of the match, and with 7.73 Howe. So let's have a look at the Middlesbrough player. Where are they? How close was so 7.33. So yeah, quite a bit more. Murray Wallace gets than Patrick McNair. So there you go, man of the match, Murray Wallace. Do you agree with that? I don't know. What do you think? And on that note, we'll end it there.